So you want to know how to homeschool. You want to know the best curriculum for homeschooling because you want to get this right. If you're a new homeschooler, I know the excitement and the stress a little bit about getting it right. You might have friends and a family who doubt your decision to homeschool, and so you are determined to do this right. That's where I was 23 years ago, and I went out on the search for the perfect curriculum, the perfect method. I read and read and read and bought and bought and bought. But let me stop and let's back up just a minute, because what I'm about to say is going to help you so much before you start on that search for the perfect whatever. We come into homeschooling with just looking through the lens of our own experience. We have this paradigm of education that we experienced that looked like an expert in the classroom, kids that sat there for 8 hours a day for 12 years of their life. And so that seems so big in our minds. How are we going to accomplish all this? But we need to understand a little bit of history about the classroom. The classroom is not set up the way it is because that is the superior way of educating children. In fact, it's not even set up to educate children. And I want you to hear me. It's set up to school children. And we have been conditioned to think that schooling and education are the same thing, and they're not. School schools well, but it doesn't educate well. And so with homeschooling, you are embarking on this big thing that's much bigger than schooling. And now you have the freedom to allow your children, to help your children be educated as a whole child. And so schooling is just a small part of that. Why do kids sit there 8 hours a day? Does it really take that long? No, it doesn't. Compulsory schooling came about right about the time that it was common for two parents to be in the workforce. And for that reason, they needed somewhere for their kids to go. They needed somebody to keep their kids. And so if you'll notice, that schedule closely coincides with a work schedule. It only takes a few hours a day, if that, to give the instruction that a child needs. Outside of that, we are educating, they are being educated by so many different ways. And children were born. They were born with the curiosity and desire they need to learn what they need to learn. And so when we give them that freedom and we just provide some resources and instruction and a little bit of structure, they can thrive and flourish so much because now they have the time and ability to do that. And so before you start selecting your curriculum and method, I want you to really consider that. Sit back and maybe make a list of, in the big scheme of life, when your children go from your home to living on their own, what are the important things? Think about your own life. What are the important things? What really helps a child be successful as an adult? What are the important things that he really needs to learn? Is it algebra and physics, or is it more finances and how to buy a house and a whole lot of life stuff? So there's so many ways and so many considerations. Think about the curriculum part as just a small part of what you are doing as a home educating parent. And if you need help thinking a little bit more about this, I have it's called the Ultimate Cheat Sheet to a Complete Education. I'll drop that in the description. And then I would love to know your questions about this topic. I have some thoughts on the best curriculum or the best method, but I'll save that for another video. So drop your questions below and I'll try to answer those in the next videos.